Now, for those lovers of Demon Crest out there, just stay with me on this review. I think that you're going to like my conclusion, but it's been a long journey getting there. Demon's Crest is a 1994 action platformer by Capcom and the third game in the Gargoyles Quest trilogy, following Gargoyles Quest on the Game Boy and Gargoyles Quest 2 on the NES. But behind what could have been the coolest metal album cover of 1994 and all of the demon-flying, fire-breathing, gothic thunder, there is some deep demon lore here. It's the fall and redemption of one of Capcom's most misunderstood anti-heroes, Firebrand. 6 magical crests fall from the human world into the demon world. Firebrand finally wins the 6 crests in battle, but then is ambushed by an archdemon named Phalanx while in a weakened state. Phalanx steals the crest in pursuit to rule the demon world and the human world. Firebrand now must reclaim what was stolen from him and restore order. And that's where your journey begins. B jumps, press B again mid-air to hover and fly, Y attacks, A headbutts, and X uses potions or spells. You can also grab onto most walls and platforms with your talons, which makes sense being though that you're a gargoyle and that's kind of their thing. You can press start to open the RPG style item screen where you'll see all of your unlocked gargoyles, spells, and potions, plus your GP, which is this game's money. And you'll be using this menu a lot. You'll spend half the game inside the start menu, changing forms, checking stats, and pretending you know what you're doing. Because the truth is, for a first timer, Demon's Crest is incredibly cryptic. See, I wasn't one who grew up with Demon's Crest, so if you're like me and you're playing for the first time, good luck. I found myself so frustrated trying to figure out what to do next that I eventually was forced to find a PDF of the manual online and read it from beginning to end. I mean, I'm sitting there reading it like, okay, I turned the vial into the wizard shop and the crest into the urn at the game shop, and that's gonna earn me another spell to use to get to the next crest with the next gargoyle, but only if I have enough GP, and I just got totally confused. At one point, I was flipping between the manual and the game before every single move like I was assembling some IKEA furniture. And that didn't even help much because the manual says stuff like, find the stones. Like, bruh, what stones? What are you talking about? Could you not write like 1 or 2 more sentences? So this review has been tricky for me because I had high expectations. People hyped this game up as one of the best on the Super Nintendo, so I thought I was going to boot it up, play for a few minutes, and just instantly have a blast. You know when someone recommends a show and they say, just stick with it, it gets really good. But then there are the great ones, like The Walking Dead or Stranger Things, where they don't even have to tell you that. It's just good right from the start. And that's what I expected here. But after beating the first level, which is a normal platforming stage, I suddenly found myself completely lost. The game opens up into this non-linear overworld, and now it's just you, a map, and absolutely no instructions. Now the overworld uses this sweet Mode 7 effect where Firebrand flies between levels, which looks awesome, but it doesn't tell you where to go next. So there I am, flying aimlessly in circles like a lost goose with no place to light. There are shops scattered around where you can spend GP on items, but figuring out each shop and what they do and where to buy first and which order to tackle stages is confusing to say the least. So after a few hours of getting stuck, backtracking, dying, staring blankly at my screen, wondering what I'm missing, I finally started to write my review. And it was negative. Like, ready to upload, negative. I had the thumbnail done, the script finished, the voiceover recorded, the whole deal. Like, I'm about to go against the grain. The only other time I've done this was with a game called Buster Bust Loose. Was this about to be the second time? And this game is even bigger and more popular. But something told me to wait. This game gets a lot of love online. And I didn't want to be the guy that trashes a Capcom classic on an assumption. So I sat on it, then played it some more. While playing, I read over the original manual online again, watched a walkthrough, and even asked AI a few questions about upgrades and where to find each crest. I followed everything carefully, step by step, like I was cooking a complicated recipe. And sure enough, I started cooking. The game started to click. The more I explored, the more I started to get it. It's not meant to be beaten in a straight line. It's meant to be explored, backtracked, revisited, and slowly and methodically conquered. Along the way, you'll unlock different forms like the Earth Gargoyle, who can smash through walls, or the Tidal one, who can swim underwater, and you'll remember a spot from 3 levels ago that you couldn't reach before. You'll go back, explore it again, and finally discover a hidden power-up or a new crest. That process, when it finally clicks, is extremely satisfying. It's like solving a dark gothic puzzle box that you didn't even know how to open at first. but man, it is still a grind. You'll constantly go in the start menu to swap gargoyles. You'll switch to one form to break a wall, then switch back to another to fly up, then to another to swim, and back again. You might as well set up a campfire in that start menu because you're going to be there a while. And that leads us to the mini games. There's one where you have to crush skulls within a time limit to earn a reward, but look at this. I started it for like half a second and was like, well, this is ridiculous, therefore I must have the wrong form. There must be another demon out there besides Firebrand with some special ability to crush these skulls because it is impossible with this headbutt from Firebrand. But turns out, nope, you're supposed to use Firebrand. But the timing and skill that this minigame takes is absurd, and I have no idea how someone perfectly times this right to crush all of these skulls in time. I mean, just forget that. But as I played Demon's Crest more and really studied how everything connects, it started growing on me. To really do my due diligence for this review, I did a deep dive research into the game, and that's where I found out Demon's Crest was actually a commercial failure for Capcom when it launched. More so, Nintendo Power reported Demon's Crest had one week where they reported negative sales because more people returned the game than bought it. And honestly, that makes perfect sense to me now. Players back then were used to Capcom games like Street Fighter II, Final Fight, or UN Squadron, games you could jump right into and have fun immediately. But Demon's Crest doesn't hold your hand. You beat the first level, feel lost, get frustrated, and probably returned it thinking the game was broken. Some rumors said parents returned it because they didn't want their kids playing as a demon. But come on, it's literally called Demon's Crest. Look at the cover. Was it a giant shock when you pulled a cartridge out of this that there would be demons in it? So forget that theory altogether. I mean, I would understand if the problem was lack of sales, sure. I could see a mom not wanting to get this for little Jimmy. But the issue was the amount of returns. So they saw the game and the title, played it, then returned it. So I think most of those returns come from players who just couldn't figure out what to do next. And back then there was no YouTube, no guides, no AI to ask, just confusion and frustration. And I think all of this could have been avoided with more description and detail in the manual. A few pages on how and where and what, and I think this game would have gotten the acclaim then that it does now. Which is pretty incredible. Such effort was put into a cartridge, totaling countless hours of tedious level design, along with pure creativity and the sweat poured out by the composer of the soundtrack, all to be lost due to someone assuming the manual isn't as important as the game. Thus, returns and frustrated first-time players like me. But with today's resources, players can finally see the game for what it is. An ambitious, beautiful, dark, and surprisingly deep adventure that was ahead of its time. Let's talk about the soundtrack. 2 tracks, Beyond the Colosseum or Colosseum, I'm still not sure which one it is, and Metropolis of Ruin are certified bangers and have been stuck in my head all week. But, and I know I'm going to get some heat for this, the rest of the soundtrack, it kinda runs together. It's all just dark pipe organ after dark pipe organ. Like a haunted Catholic church lo-fi. It's good, but man, it's got a lot of pipe organ for one game. But hey, it's got 2 of my new favorite Super Nintendo tracks on here, so I'm being extremely nitpicky here. So when you pair that soundscape with the gothic visuals, it does nail that mood perfectly. It's easily one of the darkest and most atmospheric games on the SNES. And one of the elements that I always mention on this channel is the vibe. And this game has the best dark, spooky, gothic vibe on the system. There, I said it. It's either this or Super Castlevania 4, and even that comparison is saying something. But this is a game where incredible parts don't always add up to an incredible whole. You've got top-tier graphics, great gameplay ideas, platinum-winning tracks, and some truly inspired exploration, but the lack of direction and clarity holds it back a little bit. Speaking of lack of direction, this game also has multiple endings, but at the time of release, how would you ever know that and how to see each ending? I mean, they made them, wouldn't they want people to see them? But I've been playing it on and off for weeks now, and no, I still haven't beaten it, but I'm close. I've unlocked most of the items, explored nearly every area, and I'm still missing some pieces and haven't reached the true ending. And honestly, I am okay with that. This is the kind of game you live with for a while. The more you play it, the more it grows on you. And I must admit, there is something genuinely satisfying about seeing a vine blocking your way early on, then hours later unlocking a new demon with a slicing attack, remembering that vine, and then going back and finally getting through. And it just seems like the more you look, the more you find, and that's what makes the grind worth it. Right now, it's somewhere in my top 25 Super Nintendo games, which is crazy considering I almost gave it a negative review. But the longer I stick with it, the higher it climbs. I never thought a manual could almost ruin a game, but good lord was I wrong. We have walkthroughs now, but I know a lot of gaming purists out there avoid using walkthroughs like the plague, so here's my get-rich-quick idea for whatever viewer wants to run with it first. If someone made a remaster or reimagining of this game with a tutorial and aim to give the player a little bit of a clue and re-release it with an updated cover art, you can make millions, if not millions. It took the world years, decades, to appreciate Demon's Crest, and maybe I'm just following that same path. A little late, but I'm getting there. So, I'm gonna do you just like that coworker who finds a new show on Netflix. You gotta check it out. It's really good. You just have to stick with it. So, would a mediocre gamer like Demon's Crest? The answer is yes. Stick with it.